Good morning, everyone. This week's interview is about a course that is coming up. It's one of our community groups in the September term. So we wanted to let you know a little bit about it. And I'm joined by Greg, Mish, and Emily. Hello, guys. Give us a wave.
Hello, Dan.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining. And we're going to share a little bit about the course called The Gold, which we've all done and all found really beneficial. So why don't we start by the experience and the impact that it's had on us, and then maybe Greg can share a little bit of the detail and the information. So Emily, tell us what it was like for you and what you felt God was doing in your life through The Gold.
So I joined The Gold, and I've actually done it twice now. Liked it so much the first time. So I found that The Gold really taught me a lot about my identity and about who I am in God. It talked about a lot of and brought up a lot of ungodly beliefs that I had about myself. So things I thought about myself that I wasn't good enough or somehow didn't quite meet the mark. And it really tapped into what God thought about me and what he thinks about me. So that was really eye-opening because I'd never really thought about that before. And it definitely made my relationship much stronger with God and delved deeper into what it's like to be a son of God. And I remember there was one week that really stuck with me that was talking about like a performer mentality, which I am definitely I definitely have been guilty of, as probably many of us have, feeling like I've had to perform to somehow make my relationship with Jesus better. But it was this huge realization that actually like my relationship with God is built on knowing Jesus and believing in Jesus, not my behavior. So nothing I can do can make God love me any more or any less. And yeah, for me, so it just, I guess, built that relationship back up again and made it much stronger and much deeper.
Amazing. So why did you decide to do it a second time?
So the second time I did it with Liz just one-on-one. And I'd missed a few of the first due to work commitments. And I just loved it so much. I found that like from doing it was such a highlight of my week. And I learned a lot about myself, but also about God. And I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting that I'm 27. I thought I know myself pretty well by now. But actually I didn't at all. And God uncovered so much about me as well as him. So yeah, I guess I wanted more of it. And I got even more out of it the second time, things that I thought, it's the same talks, how is it going to be any different? But actually I got really different things out the second time, which was amazing. Really cool.
Fantastic. Oh, thanks so much for sharing all that, Emily. And Mish, how about you? What was the experience like, and what did you get out of it?
Well, I think the same as Emily, I also did the course twice. I did it first with Liz and Greg, loved it. And then Dan, you and Karen as home group, we did it again. And I thought it was wonderful. I mean, before COVID started, the start of January of last year, I'd wanted to go deeper with Jesus. I really wanted to do this. And I just said, please help me. Well, boy, did he help me by this course. You know, I just think it's an absolutely wonderful course. I mean, there are different talks each week. I particularly identified with a woman called Di Leman, who's more my age. I thought what she said was great about identity. And particularly about how we, in effect, belong to God first, and then we behave, is what the word they use. It's not by our works and our deeds that we get closer to God. It's by realizing that God is inside us and guiding us and leading us, that we then want to be more like Jesus and behave. Yeah. That for me was huge, actually. And I found that the more the course went on, the bigger Jesus sort of featured in my life and has gone on to be. And so my own problems have become less I've had less anxiety, less fears, less worries. That for me was huge.
That is huge and so great to hear about. So, Greg, you and Liz kind of put this course together. Do you want to just say a little bit about what it's meant to you and then tell people how they can get involved and be part of it this coming term?
Yeah, great. Thanks, Dan. Yeah, it's just so great to hear how God's used this with Emily, with Mish and others who've done the course. And I think it's amazing how God just takes a talk that Liz happened to listen to and has formed it into a set of talks that have then been able to bless other people. So it's just amazing. I think for me, getting into it in the first place, and Liz and I have probably watched the talks of the Gold sort of 6 or 7 or 8 times by now. But I think it's just great the way that it has changed our relationship with our Father. And there's just, I think it's probably the second talk, there's a couple of verses from Romans in the Passion Translation, which I'll just read real quickly because it's just, I think it captures what it's all about. So Romans 8:15, you didn't receive the spirit of religious duty, leading you back into the fear of never being good enough, but you've received the spirit of full acceptance and folding you into the family of God. And then it goes on, like Holy Spirit makes God's fatherhood real to us as he whispers into our innermost being, you are God's beloved child. And I think that probably kind of captures it for me. It's like that is the starting point of we are God's beloved children and he has adopted us, he has done it. And so much just flows from there. Our identity then comes out of that relationship that he's given us. And then as we work through what our life is about in this world, the destiny flows out from our identity. So it really feels like, yeah, that foundational point has had massive impact on both Liz and I. And also I think starting from that place with the relationship with our Father has been key to quite a lot of people. So yeah, it's been great.
It has. So how do people get involved? What's it going to look like this autumn term?
Yeah, so we're going to be running it on Wednesday evenings. We're not quite sure of how much of that's going to be in person or online at the moment, but we'll let people know about that a bit nearer the time. We'll basically run it for 4 or 5 weeks, then have a gap of a week, and then another 4 weeks to finish. There are 8 talks, a mixture of speakers, some that you might not like so much, and then some that you might really love. So yeah, there's that kind of variety, a little bit as Mish was talking about there. And as Emily's highlighted, if people want to go through it with us in a group, that is brilliant. If people want to have a kind of more one-to-one kind of mentoring through the topics of the Gold, then please get in touch with Liz and myself, and we're happy to look at that as well.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Greg. Thanks, Mish and Emily. Guys, the main point is if you're looking for ways to go deeper with God this coming term, please consider the Gold as one of your options. Go to the community groups page on our website, sign up there. Greg or Liz will be in touch. And yeah, you won't regret it.